Having regrets is an emotion that nobody really likes to feel. So when you're having regrets about spending money, it just doesn't feel good. Most of us don't have the money to spend as it is, and then to regret spending that money just makes us feel even worse. Now, I like to spend money, and I don't want you to think that I never spend money, because I do spend money sometimes. However, there have been times where I have regretted spending money. So here are the 10 things that I almost always regret spending money on. Number 1, hotels. Something about spending hundreds of dollars on a hotel room most of the time makes me regret spending it. There are times when I have to spend money on a hotel. If I'm going to a conference, I have to spend money on a hotel. I can't really travel back and forth from New York to Orlando every day for a conference. It just doesn't work. So I do have to spend the money on the hotel. The majority of the time, hotels are not worth the amount of money that you spend every evening. And I always have a terrible sleep. No matter how good they say their mattress and how great they say their pillows are, I don't sleep well in a hotel. To me, it's a complete waste of money. I would rather not stay in a hotel if I can. Number 2, haircuts. Going to a salon and spending $45 on a wash and a trim and a blowout just isn't worth the money for me. Every once in a while, I'll go do it if I want to feel special, but the majority of the time, I either don't cut my hair or I cut my own hair. I cut my own hair a lot of times using the ponytail method, or I cut my own hair using 4 small ponytails around my head, and it seems to work just fine. It seems to look okay. I'm not a supermodel. I'm not walking the red carpet. I don't need an expert haircut. I just need to cut the dead ends off and make it look nice. Investing in a good quality pair of hair cutting scissors off of Amazon or your local Sally Beauty will do the job and save you some money. It's not worth $40 and traveling to there and having a conversation with somebody in a chair and then traveling home for something that I can do just as well in my bathroom. Number 3, I almost always regret paying full price for anything. The majority of the time, you can find a discount on what you're looking for. Whether you wait for a sale, you use a coupon, or you ask. Many times if you go into a store, specifically not a chain store, but a privately owned store, and ask if they can make you a deal, they will. If you are looking for a new couch and you go into a privately owned furniture store, you see that the price on that couch is $2,000, you have cash in your hand, they may very well give you a deal. Sometimes it doesn't work, then you walk out the door and you wait for a better deal. If you are patient, and mind you, as an only child, patience is not my strongest suit, but I've learned to be patient and wait for the sale. I almost always regret paying full price for anything. Number 4, alcohol. I just don't like the way that it makes me feel. For me, it's not worth spending the money on a glass of wine or a glass of champagne at a special occasion for the way that it makes me feel afterwards. Even just one glass of wine makes me feel very groggy, gives me a headache, and just makes me feel off. The reaction that it has to my body doesn't feel good, and I almost always regret drinking it. Number 5, makeup. There was a time where I was spending a lot of money on makeup. In my 20s and 30s, Mary Kay had made a comeback. I don't know if it ever went out of style or not, but I remember it as a kid, and I remember it coming back when I was an adult. And I remember spending hundreds of dollars on the full gamut Mary Kay. I regretted that because I don't wear a lot of makeup. If you see me right now, a little eyeshadow, a little concealer under my eyes, a little lipstick, and a little eyeliner. That's about all I got going on. I am not a high-end makeup person. A very good friend of mine's daughter started selling a higher end makeup, and it was over $200 for the whole makeup. And I decided against it because I remember regretting it the first time I did it, and I didn't want to regret it again. Number 6, skincare. The same thing goes with the whole gamut of Mary Kay, was the whole gamut of Roden & Fields. I purchased the whole Roden & Fields kit a few years ago and almost immediately regretted it. It was a lot of steps. Now I love my skin, I drink lots of water, I wash my face, moisturize, I go through all of the work and all of the steps to make sure that my skin looks great. I'm not one of those people who's worried about aging gracefully. I think I'm doing okay, and I'm all right with just enjoying the process. Putting the good stuff into my body so it comes out the outside of my body. Having 15 different steps when you're looking at skincare was just too much for me. It's not something that I was willing to do, and it wasn't something that I ended up doing. By the time I realized that I had spent $300, it was too late. And then everything expired and I ended up throwing it away. I regretted spending that much money on a full skincare regime. It just wasn't for me. Number 7, those meal delivery services. HelloFresh, those kinds of things. I almost always regret purchasing those. Even when I get a good deal, they give you certain percentage off for every box that you order. I almost always regret purchasing them because I'm a simple girl. I like simple foods and simple meals. All of those steps and those directions, too much. It's too much. They end up rotting in the refrigerator because I don't want to spend an hour and a half preparing dinner. Too many steps, too many fancy ingredients, although they're delicious, and if somebody was cooking them for me, I would be super happy with eating them, but I'm not that complicated. I'm just not. So I almost always regret purchasing those meal delivery services, and they lock you into this contract, right? Too much. Number 8, I almost always regret spending money on fast food. Ew, it just doesn't make me feel good. All of the sodium that's in the fast food makes me feel bloated and lethargic. It doesn't make my stomach feel good. It's just not good for me. I don't like the way that it makes me feel, and I don't like spending the money on putting something into my body when I could spend a fraction of the cost putting healthy, nutritious foods into my body. Even if it's a salad bar, I'm better off stopping, going into the grocery store, spending the money on a salad bar than going through a drive-thru and getting a bacon double cheeseburger with fries and an iced tea. Just doesn't make me feel good. Tons of regret every time. And number 9, piggybacking off the last one, is junk food in general. Things like donuts and cookies do not make me feel good. I almost always regret spending the money on junk food after I put it into my body. I have to remember and to remind myself that that instant self-gratification of that sugar rush isn't worth the money. It isn't worth making me feel crummy for days afterwards because I've eaten too much sugar. I almost always regret eating the junk food. And number 10, I almost always regret buying seasonal decor. Christmas really is the only holiday that I decorate for. And as I've gotten older, I've realized that for me, pulling out bins and bins of Christmas decor and replacing all flat surfaces with just Christmas stuff throughout my house isn't really for me. Now, I love the holidays and I love the Christmas tree and I love the Christmas lights. But replacing everything in my house, from regular towels in the bathroom to Christmas towels, is just too much. I just don't have the excitement and the enthusiasm that some people do. Now, I know my mom loves doing this. She'll go through her entire house. My Aunt Donna's the same way. They'll go through their entire house and pull out all the Christmas decorations and replace everything from soap dispensers to pot holders to little knickknacks and tchotchkes all over their entire house. It's just not for me. I'm not buying any more seasonal decor to replace the Easter with the regular, the Halloween with the regular, and the Christmas with the regular anymore. It's just not worth it. I almost always regret buying more seasonal decor. That's it. Thank you so much for stopping in, everybody. I appreciate you and have a great day. Bye-bye.